Hi, I'm in parentheses, and I can't get out. So we're drawing again and sitting here and talking. And last time I was drawing and sitting and talking, I said that I would actually come up with something to talk about, so I'm not just rambling incoherently for like 7 minutes. I was gonna say something, but I decided not to. And last time I said I would come up with something to talk about, and I actually did. I have something that I can actually talk about, something that I think is interesting, that you may not believe, but I believe. And that is that I live in a haunted house. Ooh, spooky. And not only a haunted house, but I live in a haunted house in a haunted neighborhood. So it's extra haunted. And yeah, again, you may not believe this, but I have my own personal evidence that I have seen and the Bean has also seen. And I probably should have waited till she got home so that she can record this voiceover with me. Also, side note, new episode of Free Run just dropped, and I'm very excited to watch it right after I'm done recording this. Free Run Season 2, let's go. Alright. And, okay, let's start from the beginning, which is when we moved in, which I actually don't remember that far back when we moved into this place. But I do know that every night I hear weird noises outside of my bedroom. And specifically, I hear leaves crunching. Oh, not every night, but like most nights I hear leaves crunching right outside my bedroom window. And I would look outside thinking it's like a dog, because it sounds like some kind of like four-legged creature. So I would think it's a dog or a raccoon on all fours. It sounds heavier than a raccoon. But like dog, there's a lot of stray cats in the neighborhood. But you know, whenever I look out the window, there's never anything there, which is very weird. And I would still hear the crunching even while looking out the window, but I can't see anything. One time I even went outside the front door and just stood on the porch. And that time, what do you call it? The crunching stopped. I know it's very stereotypical, like stereotypical haunted house thing. But the crunching stopped whenever I went outside. So, you know, I don't have any evidence of what it was, but it's very weird. And another thing is that both me and the Bean, we both hear a lot of weird noises at night. And we do live in an area with coyotes, and we live in an area with like birds that make weird noises. I feel like people who live in rural areas, they talk about coyotes making weird noises, but we don't talk about how many birds there are that just make weird noises at night. And I'm not even talking about owls. I'm talking about just other birds that just they sound weird. So some of the weird sounds we hear are weird animals, but some of them are definitely not animals. Like, I know what a coyote sounds like. I know what birds are generally. But some of these sounds, I just thought, but I should have recorded some of the sounds from last night. But I didn't have this idea until like a couple seconds ago to talk about this. So, you know, missed opportunity. Maybe in the future I will record some examples. But the real kicker is that, okay, one time, this is not really a haunted thing, but it's just something creepy that happened when me, my mom, and the Bean went out to take the dogs for a walk in the morning. It was really foggy that morning. It was really weird. And in the middle of the road, like that we usually take our dogs on a walk on, there was a dead frog. And you would think, okay, dead frog in the middle of the road, probably got run over. It was not run over. It was cut open, like its belly like dissected. It was cut open. It was so weird. And then, what do you call it? I forgot to mention, the night before, the owls were going crazy. Like I couldn't sleep because they were just hooting and hooting and hooting. And then there was apparently there was a stray dog loose, because after we saw the dead frog in the road, we went to go say hi to our neighbor like we always do. And our neighbor was telling us a story about how her cat went missing, and that apparently there's a stray dog loose in the neighborhood. This was like a year ago, by the way. I should mention that. This was not a recent thing, but it was still very weird. And apparently a stray dog had got loose in the neighborhood, and we suspect, she never found her cat, so we suspect that that cat got eaten or killed by the stray dog. And that same morning we also saw crows flocking not too far away, so, you know, not a good sign. But strange, weird stuff happens like that in our neighborhood quite often. And what'd you call it? The one last thing that really made me, like, because I am a Christian, so I do believe in like certain spiritual things. I don't necessarily believe in like, what do you call it? Like ghosts, like human spirits coming back to haunt the earth, because I do believe that after we die, God like has our spirit, and like nothing can really affect that. Although there is one instance in the Bible where a witch does summon the spirit of, I believe it was King Solomon, his spirit. Anyway, and this last piece of the puzzle really fit everything together for me. And that is, I noticed that there are, wait, how many are there? There are 2 Wiccans that live in our neighborhood. One right across the street from us. And I only realized she was Wiccan when I went to go knock on her door for like, hey, church stuff. You want to come to church? That kind of thing, you know, going door to door. And me and the Bean, we saw, the inside of her house for just a second. And so there was a lot of Wiccan stuff in there. And another time, me, the Bean, and one of the Bean's friends was out walking in the neighborhood. And there was we passed by a house that we hadn't passed by before because we were walking in a new place that had a big old Wiccan symbol, the wooden like star thing that they have. That is Wiccan, right? Maybe I'm wrong, but it looked, I'm pretty sure that's Wiccan. They had the big old Wiccan symbol right on their door. And so in my brain, that elevated it from being just like a bunch of weird stuff that happens to it being, maybe this is actually a spiritual thing happening in this neighborhood. But anyway, that is the end of my story. And that is also the end of the video. I can't believe I actually talked about something coherently for the entire time of the video. That's insane. I've never done that before. Oh, one last thing I want to mention before I officially end the video is I wanted to mention that since this is a small channel, I do read everybody's comments because there aren't that many comments, and I like it that way. And so I'm happy to read all of your comments, and I will reply to all of them, no matter what they say. Although if they say something really bad, I might just remove the comment. Like if they say something that's like illegal or something really crazy, I'll remove it. But if it's not something like super crazy, I'll just read it and reply to it. So yeah, I'm happy to do that. Anyway, thank you for watching, and remember to read your Bible if you want to survive, and stay happy.